What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Broadway Joel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. So 2022 is going to be one of the greatest years in boxing history. Barring COVID infecting some fighters or injuries, we are going to get some fantastic matchups, some evenly matched fights the fans want. And the best part about it is most of the fights I'm about to mention are all realistic. All either are promotionally aligned or promoters that actually work with each other. So I'm going to list off certain fights and let me know what you guys think in the comment section after I say the fights that are potentially going to happen in 2022. So the first fight I have is Anthony Joshua versus Usyk 2. We already know Anthony Joshua, he exercised his rematch clause for the second fight. And I feel like in the boxing community, we all have a consensus that Anthony Joshua came out with a bad game plan and he needs to go back to the drawing board and come up with a different game plan. So we'll see what happens there. But that's a fight the fans definitely want to see, or you're definitely curious as to how Anthony Joshua is going to come fight this time. And, you know, the winner of that fight is going to fight Fury, which is another fight that we want to see. And then maybe, who knows, maybe the loser fights Wilder. You know, those are also realistic fights that can happen. Another fight is Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia fights on the zone. Devin Haney fights on the zone. That fight can happen. You know, right now, Ryan Garcia is fighting an eliminator against Jojo Diaz. And they're going to be trying to see who's going to be the mandatory for Devin. And hopefully, finally, Devin can get a fight. And I think this time it's going to happen. I think Ryan Garcia realized that he's going to have to go through Devin Haney if he wants his legacy to be intact. And I think he's taking on this fight with Jojo Diaz because he's now ready to fight Devin Haney. Another fight is Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor, both on Top Rank, both on ESPN. Teofimo has expressed interest in moving up to 140 to fighting for the Undisputed 140. And we'll see. I don't see a bigger fight for Taylor other than Crawford. And honestly, I think Crawford is looking for bigger fish to fry in the welterweight division. So I think that's a fight that's realistic. Crawford Spence, maybe not earlier in the year, maybe sometime later in the year, October, November of next year, after Spence maybe has a tune-up fight and Crawford maybe fights somebody else. And I think that fight later in the year is very realistic, especially since Crawford is about to become a free agent and there won't be no promotional excuse. Another fight is Brian Castano versus Charlo 2. They already fought for the first time. It was going to be for the Undisputed, but unfortunately it was a draw. We need to see that again. You guys did it once. There's no reason you guys can't do it again. There's no other bigger fight for either fighter. Maybe against Tim Tszyu, Cassius Tszyu's son. But other than that, I don't see any bigger fight, one monetarily or legacy-wise. Another one is Canelo Benavidez. Benavidez is about to become the WBC mandatory. IBF mandatory. So if Canelo successfully becomes undisputed, he's going to have this mandatory to take care of eventually sometime next year. Joe Smith versus Daniel Jacobs. Oscar Valdez versus the winner of Shakur Stevenson versus Jamal Herring. Inoue versus Donaire, a rematch. Inoue versus Casemiro. Estrada Chocolatico 3. Thurman's comeback. And it's a real crowded heavyweight crop right now. We got Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Dillian White, Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz. We got a lot of contenders in the heavyweight division. Then we could have a whole little, round robin between them, or get those guys title shots against the guy, like Tyson Fury or AJ or Usyk, whoever ends up with all the belts after their matchups. Also, we also got to remember Canelo just said he's willing to fight Charlo. Maybe that fight happens this year in 2021, or maybe it happens next year in 2022. But point is, there's a lot of good fights that the fans want that are realistically lined up for next year. And who knows, there's other fights that maybe I didn't think of that are realistic and are going to be made next year, or there's fights that I think are unrealistic and hey, no, it gets made. Both promoters see that it's worth the money. It's worth the effort, and the fight is going to sell. So they work together as two promotional companies. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller, but I think 2022 is going to be one of the greatest years in boxing history, and I can't wait. I can't wait until all these fights I just mentioned are being discussed right now. You know, some more serious than others, but they're definitely in a realistic situation where it could happen. But all right, guys, that's my video. Make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know which fight of the ones I mentioned excites you the most, as well as hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button and follow me on Twitter at _BroadwayJoel. But all right, guys, until next time, peace.